Aerial is going to have the solution to this Spyrox problem, or maybe it's Spyrox based on the capitalization of the name.
Yeah, tale as old as time, though, here with Katars versus Gauntlets. This has been a long-standing debate between both sides, right? Both sides will say that Katars are better or that Gauntlets are better, depending on the meta. And it'll be interesting to see how this one ends up playing out. But like we're saying, Aerial, long time on the Sentinel. Going to be starting off with this hammer against Spyrox's Gauntlets.
Yeah, if you look at Aerial's PR, he's coming in at 101. 4 top 8s. I would be willing to bet that almost all of them are from a number of years ago, not recently here. Looking at his recent placements, they're just not very good. Regularly placing 33rd or worse, couple 65ths in there as well. Gets away from that. Oh, but the immediate answer back from Spyrox.
Yeah, Aerial looking to struggle a little bit on these punishes. We saw a second ago Spyrox was going for a lot of these like gravity cancel sidelights or just like sidelights in general, which end aerially, and Aerial's sitting there trying to stomp on the ground, hoping Spyrox will land down. Same kind of whiff punish, but a nice ground pound weapon toss needs more, but Spyrox with the clap back, and Aerial is not able to touch.
I'm not sure if he was actually going to go in with the D-Light there. You saw the spot dodge come out. I don't know if he was fully committed to going in for the D-Light, but that was a perfect spot for Spyrox to be. He was just enough below Aerial, right below him, in fact, that the D-Light would not have made contact, and that's perfect Gauntlet Nair range for Spyro to pick that up. Coming in starting this one off, Aerial did answer back quickly, so they're basically back to even, but Aerial is in the yellow. Gauntlet toss goes down, picks it back up, just takes one hit from Aerial. Another gauntlet toss down. Aerial picks up 2 this time.
That might be some carryover from the spear play of Spyro, utilizing those kind of weapon tosses down to try to secure landing. Very common with those larger hitbox weapons, but Spyro, we're seeing, again, start to take that damage lead, and Aerial stomping on the ground, trying to catch someone who's in the air. Stomp does not work there.
And we were seeing one of the previous sets between Aerial and Drop. The hammer play from Aerial was looking a little bit weak. We were seeing some good stuff from the signature kit, but aside from that, his hammer play was just not looking very good. It was extremely slow, wasn't finding very many openings. He would eventually find a hit here or there, but honestly, from a player like Aerial that we've seen in the past several years, seeing this hammer play, I'm not very confident in his hammer.
But that being said, he's been able to add up a decent bit of damage off the back of that hammer over to the Katars for the immediate neutral signature. Will tank the stock lead, but he's basically a downlight away from death right now. And there it is, Spyro able to even up the stock count.
Spyro is going to have his choice of the weapons. He's going back over to the gauntlets. Now, he started off really strong with the spear earlier against Magimine. That started to fall off, and it started to be the gauntlets again. It seems like he's carrying that over into this game. Nice 3-hit, goes with the weapon toss down. He's been very consistent on the weapon toss down, but he's also been able to pick up those weapons so many times, so he's not disarming himself by going for the weapon toss.
Yeah, definitely vertical weapon tosses are the safer of the weapon tosses. Like, if it misses, all you have to do is go over there and pick it up. Unfortunately, going to get knocked away from that one, so won't be able to pick it back up, but doesn't even need it. A gravity cancel downlight into the recovery. And a downlight recovery against Spyro. Popping off at the end of that one.
He's kind of nice on it coming in. 602 damage compared to the 475 that came out from Aerial. We're going to be going into the stage banding straight away. Aerial getting away from that Sentinel over to the Asuri. Going to leave APOC, Small Mammoth, and I believe that was Small Brawlhaven left on, but he's going to ban those out, and we're going to Small Mammoth.
Interesting switch coming out from Aerial. As much as I wanted to grief about those hammer stomps, which were very unorthodox, I still felt like the hammer was the thing keeping him alive. It was the thing that was putting out the damage. When he was on the Katars, he really didn't find a lot of punishes on those down tosses from Spyro, but it seems like Aerial knows something that I don't, because he's going to be going over to this sword. Nice little downlight recovery to start this off.
Now, if we go back to that set that we referred to recently of Aerial versus Drop, he won 3 games to move on. One of those was a Sentinel. 2 of them were with Asuri, and you're already seeing why he made the switch over to Asuri. Of course, Aerial, a longtime Qatar player, so Asuri, one of the most meta Qatar legends in the game right now. Definitely a comfort pick for Aerial that he's used for a long time, and definitely a more meta pick than Sentinel for sure.
Yeah, when it comes to Qatar legends, like Asuri is kind of the peak of it. Most Qatar players out there will be playing that as Suri. Nice safe edge guard coming out from Ariel, just going to sit on this corner, punish Spyro for coming over, but Spyro still able to retain this stock so far.
Again, another weapon toss down from Spyro. Aerial floating, just doing one jump, then fast falling back down, figuring out if he wants to come in aerially or from the ground. The weapon toss, a double weapon toss, gets the recovery, but Spyro touches the wall, gets just above the D-Light. Ariel taking a little bit of time to finish up this stock despite that early lead. It's been over a minute 15. Spyro almost had some cheeky there. The recovery, though, is going to take off the top. Ariel's only taken about 100 to maybe 120 damage so far, so he's still in a very good spot. But if he is looking to end these games a little bit more quickly, he doesn't have that solution yet.
Hopefully we'll be able to get some damage built up, but no, immediately Spyro with the ground pound coming over the corner. And I got to believe Ariel's getting a little bit frustrated with these down tosses from Spyro, because so many times Spyro will just be kind of bunny hopping in the sky, and Ariel's like, all right, now's my opportunity. Bam, gets hit by a gauntlet toss. There you see, and again, he goes for it, but the curvature of that nair actually going to work out in Ariel's favor.
Now, one thing that is important to note for future games beyond this one, because these games seem to be taking a little bit of time so far, and Ariel's previous games were long as well, is that is going to give the winner of this set a huge advantage, because not only do they have to play it through this set, but the loser then has to go down and play more games in the loser's bracket, which is going to chip away at that endurance. Meanwhile, the winner gets to move on and just play a handful of sets before they're in grand finals if they keep winning.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is that wherever you go down into the loser's bracket essentially doubles the number of games you have to play in order to complete the tournament. But Ariel, with a nice downlight into the side air, will put down Spyro's stock. And this time Ariel's got a little bit of health to play with. There's this opportunity as long as he can get the extension.
And he went from taking a stock at about a minute 15 to taking one at about a minute 30. So he's still keeping consistent pace with that as we come into 3 minutes into this game. Spyro's done a great job of evening it up pretty quickly, though, getting those refrags back to even up the stocks. He's searching. You see more of those weapon tosses coming out.
Ooh, Ariel was going for the neutral signature, but the downlight from Spyro able to beat it out. Still, though, Ariel finding the stock extension, which means that he's able to get these hits here and there, just little by little. They're not the longest strings, but they're enough to get that little bit of a lead when they go into the final stocks. Good dodge up, and Ariel has the stage control.
He also has the weapon control. Spyro doesn't have anything but the unarmed kit. We've seen him take away stocks with it before, but he has to find something soon. That side air is going to bounce off the stage, take a good bit of the momentum away from Ariel, so it's not going to be the KO option like if he just hit it in the air with no bounce. Now he's disarmed himself yet again. Those vertical weapon tosses are not really too much of his friend anymore, but he finds the spear toss, pick it up, go for the ground pound, and he's going to have his choice of weapons.
And he's going to be sticking with these gauntlets. That burst damage that he's able to put out, getting those 3 hits, can be so incredibly strong for bringing him back into this one. But Ariel, again, has the stage control. Just a little bit of a side air, and he's going to sit on this corner, wait for Spyro to come back up.
There's the sidelight. No follow-up. D-Light recovery from Ariel. Is he going to clean this one up quickly, add one to the board for himself, and tie up the set? Neutral light comes out. Is there going to be a weapon toss? It goes down diagonal below Spyro, but here comes the Qatars. Maybe a D-Light recovery coming out. Maybe a down signature to catch a spot dodge.
Another neutral light. It feels like a death by 1,000 cuts right now coming out from Ariel. Lots of just like, I'm going to go for the very safe option, going to go for this neutral light. Very clearly, those downlights are not hitting as frequently as Ariel wants, but that time it does for a downlight recovery, and Ariel going to put one on the board.
Now, if you look at the caliber of players that are in this tournament, you're seeing players who are like outside of top 32, sometimes right on the cusp of that top 32. But going up against a player like Ariel, who's been playing this game for a long time and at one point in his career was definitely a top player, you know Ariel has that endurance. He's continuing to play kind of these slow games. Like that game was about 5 minutes, a very long game compared to some of the other ones we've seen today. So the longer these games go on, I think it's going to favor Ariel quite a bit here.
And there you're seeing that damage per engagement is leaning more towards Aerial. Of course, damage per stock is pretty high for Aerial, a little bit above average, of course. But for me, the big thing is the safe plays coming out from Aerial. You talked about how long the games of Aerial's seem to go, and that's a lot of it, is that he just plays for those safe options.
And we are back to the Demon Island. This is where we saw Magimind previously play some gauntlets. We'll see what Spyro has with his gauntlets here. A nice early lead for himself.
Yeah, there's some really solid gauntlet plays coming out from Spyro. Good movement. You saw the way that Aerial was really trying to chase down, wanted to put Spyro into some hit stun on landing, but Spyro's just like, I have grounded movement speed. It is better than air movement speed. Just stutter step away. Nice. Good punish from Aerial on that weapon toss down. Spyro gets away with so many of those. Done? Done. Clean edge guards coming out from Aerial. Just the side airs. And Spyro going to get denied the weapon. Nice little falling side air coming out from Aerial. Playing a little bit more aggressive this time. We've seen Aerial on some previous stocks just kind of sit there and go for these neutral lights. But now you're seeing neutral light chase dodge up, trying to see what options come out from Spyro. Out of hit stun. Almost had the read there. You saw the spot dodge. Could have gone for the side light on reaction. This time goes for the side light. And the weapon tosses. Aerial is starting to find punishes. Weapon toss again from Spyro. Wants to switch over to the spear. Suddenly, Gauntlet's not working out for Spyro, but the spear is warmed up and ready. Double down light into the side air. Aerial off stage. Recovery! And it works out in Spyro's favor. Interesting option. Generally the lower kill box. That one on the bottom of the map is the closer one, but Spyro knew something. Again, Spyro with the gauntlets, Spyro with the lead, and Aerial playing a little bit more aggressive. You saw him go over the corner wanting to do a down air, maybe try to catch Spyro on that short wall. Didn't quite find the hit, throws out the down sig, but the neutral light will protect. Again, down tosses, and Aerial is starting to find the punish. I love this. I love that Aerial has figured it out. He's figured out the timing to find these down lights to punish these down tosses from Spyro. Another falling side air into the neutral light. Spyro, with just a raw Ensig, and Aerial had the opportunity for the punish. Went for the down light, wanted some optimum damage, but just didn't find the connection onto the down light. There's the downlight. Downlight recovery, nair follow-up. I was about to criticize for the fact that downlight dare would have been optimal damage, could have gone for the extra hit, but Aerial still found some, so can't criticize too much on that one. Punish opportunity, but Aerial going to go back for the safe plays. Knows that they're in the final stocks. Spyro back on stage with the gauntlets, but immediately knocked off from the side air of Aerial. Falling dare. Makes the swap again. Spyro changing up the down tosses, goes for the downlight, wants the double downlight, could potentially finish off Aerial depending on the positioning. Again, going for these downlights. Aerial, good spot dodge. This is risky, both of them in the red. Downlight recovery, and Aerial gonna take game number 3 by such a small margin. 21 damage difference between the two of them. Aerial just barely closing that one out. One game left for Aerial, and Spyrox has to win the next 2 in a row to earn that spot in the winner's final. Guaranteed top 3 would be such a nice spot for either of these players. A power ranked 101 versus, what was Spyrox? I don't remember. Power ranked 104, man. Either of them getting top 3 here, huge.
Now it is Spyro coming in with this level 100 Wushang. We almost saw the swap over to the Mordex, would carry the gauntlets over from the Wushang, but then the swap happened back over to the Wushang, and we're still looking at this Asuri from Aerial. Swapping up the colors, swapping up the skin, but still the same legend coming in. I'm a little bit surprised that Aerial is only level 81 with Asuri. I would expect a little bit higher. Maybe not a level 100, which I expect from his Sentinel, but still.
I don't know, man. I don't know what your highest level legend is, but you know that when it gets to those later levels, like 80 and above, those levels are incredibly long. Like, it is a mark of dedication to get past 90, really.
Now we are going over away from Mammoth onto the dome. Spyro is starting out with this spear, trying to play the range game against Aerial. He's struggling a little bit to get in. We're only 15 seconds into this game, but a weapon toss has already come down from both players, both of them losing their weapons. One spawn comes in. It's Spyro grabbing it. Aerial answering with some unarmed damage, grabs the sword spawn. They're going back and forth. 30 seconds into this.
Good avoidance from Aerial, avoiding that gravity cancel sidelight coming out from Spyro. Could have been very devastating with how high they are. But Spyro, again, swapping over to the spear. We're seeing Spyro just have slightly less success with the gauntlets in these later stages of the set, and so he's forced to try out this spear play. But the spear play, it's looking a little rough. It's very SIG dependent and very downlight dependent.
He does find the gravity cancel side signature there right over the corner. Ground pound comes in. He pulls out of it. Another side signature, just trying to poke with these neutral lights. Out comes the side air. Another ground pound that he pulls out of it, expecting to maybe get that dodge. Then he pulls out of the ground pound, and he can immediately respond with another attack once Aerial's dodge is on the in-air cooldown. But a recovery from Aerial in the middle of the stage, a couple jumps up for the first KO of this game. And again, a minute and 20, a minute and 15 seconds for Aerial to find these first stocks. So he's keeping it consistent, but Spyro is also keeping it consistent with how quickly after Aerial's first KO that Spyro finds the answer.
Has each game gone down to final stocks red? Like, they're very close between the two of them.
Yeah, it's always been Aerial in the lead, though. Like, he grabs the first stock, Spyro grabs one. Aerial grabs the second one, Spyro grabs the second one. Aerial grabs the third one, and then, obviously, that's the end of the game. But it has been very close
there's only
between these players.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, PR clearly showing that 101 to 104, so it makes a lot of sense. Good plays coming out from Aerial, though. Nice weapon toss keeping Spyro on that corner. Guitar is picked back up, and a good dodge out. Downlight into sidelight, not going to work out for Spyro.
Gets in with the neutral light, still stays in the middle of the stage, expecting Aerial to go high, throws out the recovery. Aerial stayed pretty much low. Ooh, nice beginning to this. We'll see if Aerial is able to continue grabbing the stock first before Spyro is. The sword is coming out. Already had one sword KO this game with the recovery. Ooh. Going in with the ground pound. Didn't even need it. Again, Aerial in the lead, and it's just something that Spyro hasn't been able to overcome.
Yeah, I'm surprised, like, Spyro didn't even really make a move towards the stage. Kind of burned a lot sitting on that right side. Maybe just the fear of the gravity of the ground pound from Aerial was enough. But again, Aerial is damaged. Aerial's in the red. There is that possibility of Spyro immediately getting that response, and the side sig will do it.
Now, one thing we're seeing Spyro maybe start to do, I definitely saw it just a few seconds ago, was he threw the weapon toss down like he's been doing, but he waited quite a bit on picking it up. So if Aerial comes out with an immediate spot dodge, expecting like a falling dare or something, Spyro still is waiting. So when those iframes come off, he has that dare, he has that nair, he has whatever option he wants to find, and Aerial doesn't have a dodge.
Yeah, just trying to change up how he is doing those down tosses. Lots of good chase dodging on both sides, but Aerial, again, back to these safer, just those raw neutral lights on top of Spyro.
There you go, another weapon toss that Spyro doesn't immediately follow up on. The neutral sig comes out, attempting to punish Spyro, but Spyro's able to get away from it and counter punish. It is very even between these two players. Aerial does not have much of a lead. There we see, again, punishing the weapon toss pickup with a neutral light. We've seen that 2 times in a row now. Is a weapon throw going to come out? No, just going to be a dare right around the corner. Not really an option for that to hit. There's another neutral light from Aerial.
Just raw sword neutral lights, 5 frame startup, safe move, and it is slowly chipping away at Spyro.
Oh, goes for the D-Light, doesn't have an immediate follow-up, goes with the delayed recovery, the ground pound from Spyro. Both players without a weapon. Aerial grabs the sword. There is a spawn, but it's all the way on the left side of the stage. Oh no, that's gonna be it! He goes for a big play with the GC D-Light, burning his dodge, putting him into recovery frames, and allowing Aerial to punish him there for the KO.
Just barely skin of the teeth. Aerial gonna win the set and go into the winner's final. Guaranteed top 3 finish. Guaranteed, was that like a 35th in terms of BCX placements? Like, this is incredible for Aerial, but Spyro, man, so many of those games could have gone his way. Just like 50 more damage and he would have won.
Yeah, you saw how close that last game was. That was probably the closest of the bunch, but Aerial still was able to pull it out in the end. Now, what I was saying earlier was that the longer the games